All right, guys, so it's been about 7 months since I got the Profoto B10s. I got the Duo kit, so I got two of these. I have now used these everywhere. I have traveled with them. I have a very good sense of how I now feel about these lights, having now owned them and really putting them through the ringer. So although I've done a legit polished professional review of this right after I got them, and I'm sure many of you have seen that video, now I want to just talk to you straight about what I really think about them. Let's do it. All right, guys, I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible. I'm going to try to just get right to the point. These lights are absolutely, positively amazing in every way, shape, and form. Okay, that's the bottom line. That's the spoiler alert. Specifically, understand that these replaced my Chrome Quadras, or the ELB 400s, basically, that I had for many, many, many years. And, I was on the fence about it because I had the HS high-speed heads and I didn't know if these were going to be powerful enough to replace that. I also had a Ranger 1100 watt second pack that I used on occasion, that big heavy dinosaur. And I ended up selling all that stuff, and in exchange I bought two of these B10s. And I was really attracted to these mainly because of the size and the portability of it. Now, if you haven't seen some of my other Profoto videos, you need to understand that I've also have some experience here with the Profoto B10X, and that was initially the kit that I had bought. I got the location kit with two heads, and I had issues with the flash tubes. They were not working well after extended use of HSS out in the field. I contacted Profoto. They were amazing, and they actually agreed with my findings, and they since have contacted the headquarters in Sweden, and they're looking at maybe developing a different solution to those flash tubes because for whatever reason they were also able to replicate the same problem that I was experiencing. And basically that problem is that after a lot of high-speed uses, then back in normal sync, the flash exposure wouldn't be completely consistent from flash to flash to flash. And that was really weird and super annoying. So anyway, I was frustrated, and at the same time, these guys were just coming out. And so I was really curious about them. I wanted to kind of try them out and see if these would kind of fit the bill. It was a newer design, newer technology, hopefully a different flash tube in there. And so I went ahead and I returned the B10X kit. Thankfully, I was able to do that. And then I purchased two of these. And ever since I've had these in my hands, there's just no going back to anything else. They're just so small and so light. And the biggest thing that I think people get in their head is the power, right? They're like, yeah, but it's only, what is it, 250 watt seconds or of power, and it's nowhere near, the same amount of the B10X, it's only half and all that stuff. And I can tell you that in real life use, it just doesn't work that way. Like watt seconds, it does not really matter. You really just have to get it and try it. The modifiers make a huge, huge difference. Right now, just for reference, I'm being lit by my second B10 in their OCF Beauty Dish here with the outer diffuser on. It's just out of frame here, which is awesome. I couldn't do that before with the B10Xs because the modeling light would flicker on video and it wasn't designed for that. They're just amazing. They're absolutely amazing. Now, I've done a full legit in the field initial testing review video, which was pretty thorough, and I get into detail, a lot of good behind the scenes with a fashion model here in Miami. If you haven't seen that video, definitely check it out because there's a lot of good information. You can see us in the field using this. Also, shortly after that video aired, we also took these out to Las Vegas, where I taught a 5-day workshop on off-camera lighting, and we exclusively used the Profoto B10s on all of those photos. Definitely check out some of my Las Vegas videos on my YouTube channel there. It's one video, but there's 5 different days there, so definitely check that out. It's a long video, but it's pretty entertaining. It's pretty cool. I think you'll really like it, and there's a lot of footage here of the B10 in those videos. And that was back in October, and so I'm sorry, November. And so here we are now in April, and I have just continued to use these all my events, photo shoots, and weddings. I have had no problems with them whatsoever. I've never had a misfire on the remote, which I also really like a lot. The batteries are amazing. They last like seemingly just all day. I've never had a situation where I have felt like, oh, I wish I had a second battery, or it's not enough to complete like a regular photo shoot with a model or an engagement session out on location. These are killer. The wedding day family formal pictures with a big white umbrella. Like, there's just been no problems with any of this. Recycle time is super fast. I've even shot like faster than what they can recycle, and miraculously the frames look consistent. There's no like weird underexposed frames. There's a technology in here they claim that they can avoid that, and I believe them. It works well. The interface is great. Now, I'll also tell you, I've had one mishap with these lights. Shortly after we got back from Las Vegas, I was on an engagement session. It was actually the very first shoot that I had when we got back, and lo and behold, I was doing a 2-light setup, which is most of my work. My assistant was on a boom. He was hand holding the main light, and then on a nano stand, I had this as my kicker, and we were shooting in this bar because that's where the couple met. And I left the light like on the stand in front of this door in the bar. And the couple were like, oh, let's grab a drink at the bar. We were shooting in the bar, by the way, before it was open. So there was no other customers in the bar. There was nobody there, right? It was just like the bartender and like a couple associates. And while we're sitting at the bar in the other room, I hear this horrible crashing noise. And I was like, oh man, someone must have dropped some dishes or something. Well, it turned out that one of the cooks in the back opened the door that was in front of the stand. It hit the light and knocked it over on the stand, and it went right down on the back part of the shroud, like in this area here, and it landed on concrete, and it totally smashed the light. It actually like still worked, like it operated, just all the buttons were like pushed in, the shroud was all bent and banged up. But it didn't break the bulb, it didn't break the front element, like it still functioned fine. I was just super annoyed because it was basically a brand new light that is very expensive. And so anyway, I was just like, oh man, what do I do? And I have insurance and everything, but the problem is that there's a $500 deductible and all that. So I ended up calling Profoto, and their customer service was so amazing. He told me on the phone, he goes, there's an incidental warranty on those lights, and if you just send it into us, we're going to charge you $228, and they sent me a brand new light, a whole new light, brand new, everything included. All I had to do was send them in the damaged one for $200. I think it was like $230. And I was just like, I was blown away. I thought that was just amazing. I know for a fact that would never have happened with any of the other lights that I've had in the past. And so I was really happy and proud. And to be clear, I tried to leverage myself, my YouTube channel, the reviews I've done, just to get it exchanged out for free. And they would not hear of that. And I got no special treatment whatsoever. So if you have a Profoto light and it falls over on a stand and it breaks, you would also pay the same amount of money to get it replaced. And they made that very clear to me on the phone. And I just thought that was great, you know? And so that was awesome. I didn't have to file a claim with my insurance. So the service has been great. The product itself has been absolutely phenomenal. I have had no problems with it. My favorite modifiers to use with this light is by far the Magnum reflector. I think if you buy this light, you definitely need to get 2 of those reflectors. Well, 1 for each light. I have 2 lights. I think that's awesome. I use it way more than I even use this beauty dish here. I just like the way it looks. I like the sharp fall off. I like that it's a soft light, but it's also a very crisp light, and I love that for at least the type of photography that I like a lot. It also adds 2 stops of power to this light, which gives me an enormous advantage outside in the sun. So I'm super excited about that. Yeah, and it just travels amazing. I've already gone, I've gone on 2 different airplane trips. We went to Puerto Rico for a wedding recently, and these just go right in the backpack, no problem. Same thing with Vegas, no problem with TSA. The batteries are fine. There's no like qualms with any of that. I love how the handle comes apart on the light. Like, they're really, in my professional opinion, these are the perfect light for just any location photographer. I just love it. I also love the fact that I can power stuff like this from a cord, from a wall, if we are going to be in a studio or we're going to be doing other projects for a longer period of time. Super versatile in that sense. I have some international weddings coming up. We're going to be in Paris here in June for 11 days doing some fashion photography in Paris. And also, we have a super awesome wedding over there. And these are going to be great for that as well. And we're not going to have to worry. The airline I'm flying on is Air France. And Air France is super strict with carry-ons in terms of weight. And I actually was freaking out because when I had the B1X kit, I was like, man, 2 B1X heads, the batteries, and just some accessories in a backpack had it almost at the 12 kilo weight limit, which is I think 26 US pounds. And that's the limit on Air France. And I have read stories of people trying to come back from Paris to the US and they wouldn't let people go on the airline if the bag weighed that or more. And it was like 2 pounds over, and you know, it just adds a lot of stress to the trip. Whereas this, like, we can put these in the bag, we can put a drone in the bag, we can fill it up with all kinds of other accessories and things and not have to worry. And that's a really cool thing when it comes to travel. So yeah, guys, without getting into like a whole other review of the light, which is not what this is intended to be, I'm just going to tell you that this is a safe buy. It's been super reliable. We love these lights. My assistants love these lights, and I couldn't be happier. I have a sneaky suspicion, I don't quote me on this, but I have a sneaky suspicion that we are going to see a very much revamped B1X, whatever that's going to be, light that will incorporate this same exact design. It's going to have the same interface, the same Bluetooth connectivity, a similar battery style here, the video light features and things like that. I bet we'll probably see that either later this year or the first part of next year. That's just my personal opinion. It's not, no one said anything, but that's just what I think. I will tell you this, even with a new B1X, even if they come out, unless it's this size and this weight, I'm not interested in it, because this, frankly, I have now been able to do everything with this size and weight light that I would never need or want anything else. So unless Profoto makes a light that is this size or smaller and puts more power in it, I'm never going to upgrade this light. Like, I'm just telling you, that's how I feel. You can bring that to the bank. It's really, really awesome. One of the things that I wanted to mention really briefly, and I may have made mention to this in the Profoto review video, is that I didn't talk a lot about the included backpack that comes with these lights. And at first glance, I didn't take it seriously, and I'm all think tank. I'm a huge think tank user. I've done some think tank videos. I love think tank for all my bags and gears, and you guys should definitely check them out if you haven't already. But I will say that the Profoto backpack that ships with the Duo kit when you buy the 2 lights is actually not too bad. It's not anywhere the same quality as a think tank bag, but it's sized in a way where I can get 2 of these lights, my mirrorless Canon EOS R, which is now my primary camera, and I've actually squeezed 3 pro lenses in that bag, plus cords and some other accessories in the remote, 2 gels, and then I clip on the outside the modifiers, and in the front section I can fit the beauty dish, and that's really cool. And it's a super small bag, it's compact, you can kind of throw it around. I really like that about it. So I'm actually using that on engagement sessions in some smaller shoots where I'm confident that I don't need to bring like a bigger kit for anything, and then these will just completely handle it. And I can't tell you how amazing it is to be able to move fluidly on a photo shoot with these small little lights that are super powerful. It's just incredible. So anyway, that's my extended thoughts on the Profoto B10s. I absolutely love them. You will too. There's really not anything negative here that I have to say about these lights. And if there were, I would tell you. Like, I am not endorsed by Profoto. I don't get a dime. There's no affiliate link below for you to buy these lights. I am not benefiting from you at all from these lights. I am just telling you wholeheartedly, as someone who loves tech and loves what I do, these are sick, plain and simple. And I know that there's Godox and all that stuff. It's not about comparing it. If you have that and you like that and that's the right fit for you, then that's awesome too. But man, let me tell you, if you can swing the budget for these, this will be the last light that you buy for a really, really long time. You won't be upgrading it. I have no intention of upgrading it for many, many years. And on that note, I had my Ellen Chrome Quadras for 7 years before I upgraded to these. So I definitely get my money's worth out of the gear that I buy, and I buy nice instead of buy twice, and that's sort of my mentality. And with that said, guys, this is awesome. All right, good luck to you all. If you have questions at all about this light or anything else, just drop a comment below, and I'll write right back. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon. Go over camera settings. The number one thing is really consistency. Now the physical placement of the light is important here. That's never gonna work. See, look at this. This is really cool. The problem is that all of her is facing that same direction. When you drop that chin, it builds that intensity. Now I'm gonna take this shot. It's wrong. This one other thing that I wanna change, but I'm gonna shoot it so I can show it, and then we're gonna change it. Stay like that. Exceed the building so that you're not introducing any highlights. There are no highlights. Turn your face more this direction like this. See that? There it is. It's all or nothing. So I wanted you in here first to see what I'm doing. So now we're gonna control this. So this is really a 3-light setup. You're having fun, right? So we're doing the breakouts now. We've got 2 groups we got going on here. Let me see. Dude, it's so sick. Back
You
it
think
up.
so? Really?
There, it's all coming together. That's what you want. We are totally pulling back the curtains here.
Well, let me tell you something. This is probably one of the best workshops I've been to.
Heidi Klum was supposed to come. I had her on speed dial. I said, Heidi, I got this workshop.